Hey, you're late, I said as I opened the door, smiling at her like always. I know, I got stuck at work. You know how it is, she said, slipping past me, brushing her hair behind her shoulder. Yeah, I know, I murmured, glancing at the dinner table. Candles were lit. You remembered, though. That means a lot. She shrugged, sliding into her seat. Of course. I wouldn't forget. Her eyes were warm, but I noticed a flicker. Was it hesitation? I shook my head. I didn't want to start doubting her now. You've been quiet today, I said, pouring wine. Everything okay at work? She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. Yeah. Just busy. Nothing to worry about. I nodded, but something in me tightened. I brushed it off. I'd been too happy lately to notice the small inconsistencies. Later, as we cleaned up together, I found a receipt crumpled under the sofa. Where's this from? I asked, holding it out. She froze. Oh, that? Just some groceries. Groceries? This is from a boutique. It's expensive, I said, raising an eyebrow. I needed it for a friend, she stammered. I laughed lightly. Okay, for a friend. Sure. I didn't push. I wanted to trust her. I wanted to believe in the life we had built. The next day, my best friend, Sam, called. Hey, man. You need to be careful with her, he said bluntly. I laughed. Careful? Sam, come on. You don't even know the whole story. I know enough, he said, voice low. I've seen it. She's hiding things. Trust me, I'm not saying this lightly. Sam, I love her. I trust her. Can you just, not? My stomach twisted, but I forced a laugh. I know her better than anyone. Just, keep your eyes open, okay, he said, sighing. I don't want to see you get hurt. I nodded, but I didn't feel reassured. I hung up, trying to shake the feeling. A few days later, she invited me to her apartment under the pretense of planning a surprise. It'll be fun, she said, grinning. When I arrived, she was waiting with a glass of wine. Sit down, she said. I did, trying to ignore the knot in my chest. I have something to tell you, she said, twisting her ring nervously. I leaned forward. What is it? She hesitated. I didn't want you to find out this way. Her voice cracked. Find out what? I asked, suddenly tense. She took a deep breath. I'm pregnant. And it's not yours. The world tilted. I blinked, thinking I had misheard. What do you mean it's not mine? My voice was shaking. It's complicated, she whispered, tears welling. I didn't know how to tell you. I slammed my hand on the table. Not yours. All this time, you lied to me. You let me believe. Please, let me explain, she begged, panic rising in her eyes. I didn't want anyone to get hurt. You think I'm supposed to raise this child quietly? Watch everything I built with you crumble. I shouted, my heart breaking. Her face fell. I was scared. I didn't know how. I trusted you. I yelled, my voice raw. Every word, every promise. And this is how you repay me. She opened her mouth, but no words came. I turned away, struggling to breathe. My mind raced. All the little lies, the odd behavior, the receipts, it all made sense now. The betrayal cut deeper than I thought possible. I felt hollow, lost, and furious. I wanted to scream, to break something, to make her feel the way I did. I can't believe this, I whispered, more to myself than to her. My hands shook. I thought we were building a life together. I trusted you completely. And now? Her shoulders slumped. I'm so sorry, she whispered. But sorry didn't fix anything. It couldn't undo the truth, the betrayal, or the life I thought I had. I left her apartment without another word. The streets blurred as I walked, the city lights cruelly bright. My world had shattered in an instant, and I didn't know if I'd ever feel the same again. I slammed the door behind me, my hands trembling. I couldn't believe it. I wanted to scream, but no sound came out. Hey, calm down, my sister, Laura, stepped into the room, concern etched on her face. Calm down. How can I calm down? I shouted, pacing. She lied to me. Lied. All this time. Laura reached out. Slow down. What are you talking about? She's pregnant, and it's not mine. I couldn't stop the words from spilling. She expected me to just raise someone else's child quietly. Lara's eyes widened. Oh, wow. That's horrible. I ran my hands through my hair, gripping the edge of the table. I trusted her. I believed every word. And she destroyed everything. Do you want me to call her? Lara asked gently. Call her. I laughed bitterly, a short, harsh sound. And what? Let her lie to my face some more. Let her pretend it's okay. You could confront her, but maybe not alone, Lara said softly. I already did, I spat, voice shaking. She gaslighted me, Lara. She said it's complicated, that I wouldn't understand. Can you believe that? I'm so sorry, she whispered, pulling me into a hug. I can't imagine how angry you must feel. Angry? I said, pulling back and pacing again. Angry isn't the word. I feel humiliated, betrayed, worthless. I feel like a fool for trusting her. Hey, it's not your fault, Lara said firmly. You loved her, and she took advantage of that. I can't just forget this, I muttered. Every time I close my eyes, I see her smile, pretending everything is normal. You're allowed to be upset, Lara said, holding my hands. You need to take care of yourself first. I don't know if I can, I admitted. I feel trapped, like I'm drowning in this mess she made. Lara frowned. Have you told anyone else? Like your neighbor or? No. I can't, I said sharply. I can't let everyone see me like this. Humiliated, broken. You don't have to face it alone, she said, softer now. I'll help you. We'll figure it out together. I sank onto the couch, burying my face in my hands. I can't believe I was so blind. All the little signs, the receipts, the lies, the weird stories. It wasn't easy to notice, Lara said. Especially when you loved her so much. I can see how much you cared. I feel like I should have seen it, I whispered. I should have known she was hiding something. How could I have been so stupid? You're not stupid, Lara said, shaking her head. You just wanted to trust the person you loved. That's normal. I closed my eyes, trying to breathe, trying to calm the storm inside me. But I felt the first spark of something else, something darker. You know. I want her to feel this, even a fraction of what I feel, I muttered. Lara froze. Be careful, she said gently. Revenge, it can consume you. I know, I said quietly, but my heart was racing. But I can't just let her get away with this. I won't. The next day, I ran into Mr. Khan, my neighbor, in the hallway. Morning, he said cheerfully, holding the door for me. Morning, I muttered, trying to appear normal. You look tense. Everything okay? He asked, frowning. I hesitated. Could I trust him? It's complicated. Personal stuff. He nodded slowly. If you ever need to talk, I'm here. Sometimes it helps to get it out. I gave him a small, tight-lipped smile. Thanks. Maybe I will. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying every conversation, every lie she told. She thinks she can just keep me quiet, I whispered to myself. But I won't. Not this time. The anger twisted with hurt, and the hurt twisted with humiliation. I felt powerless, yes, but a plan started forming in my mind. A quiet, burning resolve. She has no idea what's coming, I muttered, clenching my fists. I won't let her ruin my life. She made her choice. Now, it's my turn. Lara knocked softly on my door. Hey, you okay? I will be, I said, forcing a calm voice. Just, need some time to think. As she left, I sat on the edge of my bed, staring at the ceiling. I felt broken, yes, but beneath it all, I felt alive with a new purpose. She had underestimated me. She had no idea how far I was willing to go. And I promised myself, silently, that I would make sure she never forgot the day she betrayed me. I sat across from Mr. Hassan at the little cafe, stirring my coffee more than drinking it. I don't even know where to start, I muttered. He leaned back, fingers interlaced. Start with what you want, not what she wants. You've already been through the storm, now decide what you'll do with the aftermath. I can't just walk away, I admitted. It feels like letting her win. But I also can't forgive her, not yet. Not ever, maybe. He nodded slowly. Then don't. Forgiveness isn't mandatory. But neither is revenge. You need a plan that doesn't destroy you. I don't want to be destroyed, I said sharply. I want control. I want her to know that lying to me won't get her anywhere. And how far are you willing to go? He asked, eyes steady on mine. You have to be careful. Emotional decisions can ruin more than just her life. I know, I said quietly, leaning forward. I've thought about it. Every scenario. I can't be impulsive. I need strategy, patience. Good, he said. Start small. Gather facts, notice her patterns, observe how she reacts when she thinks no one's watching. I've already started, I admitted. I've noticed the little things, her phone calls, her sudden errands, the receipts I never questioned before. She underestimates me. That's a start, he said, sipping his tea. Next, think about your allies. Who can support you without being manipulated into her web? I nodded. Lara. Sam. Maybe even Mr. Khan, though I've barely hinted at the situation. But they know I need support. Exactly. Now, you need to protect yourself emotionally. You can't let anger blind you. I won't, I said, almost to convince myself. Anger fuels me, but I won't let it consume me. I've learned that much already. He gave a small, approving smile. Then, consider your endgame. What do you want to achieve? Humiliation. Closure. Karma. I thought for a moment, staring into my coffee. I want her to understand the weight of her choices. Not destroy her, just make her see the consequences. And I want to reclaim my life without regrets. That's wise, he said. Focus on your life first. Build strength, confidence. Then the rest will follow naturally. I hate that I even have to think like this, I said, running a hand through my hair. I hate that I'm planning around someone who betrayed me. But I can't go back. I can't act like this didn't happen. Exactly, he said. Acknowledging reality is half the battle. The other half is action, but measured, deliberate action. I've replayed every conversation, I admitted. Every lie, every look, every word. I'm not just angry, I'm calculating. I can use what I know to my advantage, without stooping to her level completely. Good, he said. Keep that focus. Don't let her see your hand until the time is right. And remember, patience wins where impulsivity fails. I think I'm ready, I said quietly, more to myself than to him. I've been a victim long enough. It ends here, but on my terms. He nodded. That's the spirit. You're not her puppet anymore. You're reclaiming control. I need a timeline, I said suddenly, my mind racing. I can't act immediately, I need to gather information, ensure nothing backfires. Agreed, he said. And be flexible. People like her are unpredictable. Watch for cracks, not just patterns. I've noticed a few, I said, smirking despite the tension. She thinks everything's fine. She doesn't see the storm coming. That storm is you, he said, a faint smile touching his lips. Use it wisely. Strike when it benefits you the most, not when your emotions demand it. I nodded, feeling a mix of fear and exhilaration. I can do that. I can be patient, calculated. I can outsmart her, he finished. Exactly. I sat back, letting the words sink in. For the first time since the revelation, I felt powerful. Not in a cruel way, but in a way that meant I wasn't helpless anymore. Mr. Hassan, I said finally, thank you. I feel like I have a path now. Like I'm not just reacting anymore. You do, he said. And remember, the more composed you are, the more frightening your presence will be. People underestimate calm determination. I smiled faintly, a new resolve hardening in me. Calm. Determined. Not a victim. I like that. Good, he said. Now go, start observing, start planning. The moment you show weakness is the moment she regains control. I won't show weakness, I said quietly, though my mind already danced through every scenario. I'll be patient. I'll be careful. And when the time comes, she'll regret ever underestimating me. Mr. Hassan nodded. That's all I needed to hear. Now, go take your life back. I left the cafe with a strange mix of calm and fire in my chest. I had a plan, allies, and a purpose. I wasn't just surviving anymore. I was preparing. And when the moment came, nothing would stop me. I ran into Zara at the cafe, surprised to see her there. Hey, I said cautiously, sliding into the seat opposite her. Hey. Long time no see, she said, smiling brightly. How have you been? I hesitated, studying her. I've been dealing with some things. She nodded, tilting her head. I can relate. Life has a way of throwing curveballs, doesn't it? You could say that, I muttered, stirring my coffee. Actually, I could use some advice. Advice? She asked, raising an eyebrow. About what? About moving on. About standing up for myself, I admitted, surprised at how easily the words came. She smiled softly. I think I can help with that. I've been through my fair share of betrayal, too. I studied her, feeling a strange sense of relief. I need someone who understands, not someone who judges me. Then I'm your person, she said, leaning back. But you've got to promise me, you won't let anger control you. I laughed lightly. Control. Maybe I don't want to control it. Maybe I want her to feel some of what I've been through. Zara's smile faded slightly. Careful. Revenge can be satisfying, but it can also consume you. I've learned that the hard way. I know, I said quietly, my mind already forming a plan. But I also know I can't just sit back. She thinks I'll be passive, that I'll let her keep her life intact while I suffer. Then prove her wrong, Zara said, eyes sharp. But smartly. Don't just lash out. Use your head. I've started noticing things, I admitted. Little patterns. People she trusts, things she hides, how she reacts when she thinks no one is watching. I can manipulate the situation without being obvious. That's clever, she said. Subtlety is your friend. Make her stumble on her own, and it won't look like you pushed her. Exactly, I said, smiling faintly. I want her world to unravel slowly, naturally. I don't want to stoop too low. Zara nodded. Good. That means you're thinking clearly. Revenge isn't just about emotion, it's about precision. I took a deep breath. But, there's a moral line, right? I keep asking myself, is it right to destroy someone who once meant so much? I loved her once, and part of me hates how far I'm willing to go. That's normal, Zara said softly. It's complicated. The fact that you're questioning it means you're not cruel, you're careful. You care about who you are while doing this. I hope so, I muttered, staring into my coffee. I don't want to become someone I despise. You won't, she said, reaching across the table to tap my hand lightly. Just remember, you're doing this to reclaim yourself, not to punish endlessly. I nodded, feeling a spark of confidence. I need to rebuild my life. Not just focus on her. I need friends, stability, happiness again. Then start there, Zara said. Help yourself first. People like her underestimate that. They assume you'll crumble while they remain untouchable. Exactly, I said, my mind racing. She's arrogant. She thinks I'm weak, that I'll keep silent, that she's untouchable. But she's already starting to crack. I can see it in the way she talks to others, the little slips, the anger when things don't go perfectly. Zara smiled. And that's when you step in, carefully, subtly. Not to destroy, but to shift the balance in your favor. I felt a strange thrill at the thought. It feels good to have control again. To know I'm not helpless. Good, she said. And don't underestimate the power of confidence. People notice it. They can't manipulate someone who stands tall and knows their own mind. I smiled faintly, feeling strength returning. I'll be careful, subtle, but relentless. She won't know what hit her. Just remember to breathe, Zara said, tilting her head. Don't let rage cloud your strategy. Let the cracks appear naturally, and you'll stay on top. I will, I said, the tension in my chest easing slightly. I can rebuild my life, gain back my power, and let her world unravel without me stooping to her level completely. That's the plan. She nodded approvingly. Then you're on the right path. And don't forget, having allies makes a difference. You're not alone in this. I know, I said, glancing at her. It feels less heavy, talking to someone who understands. Thank you. Anytime, she said, smiling. Just promise me, you'll be smart. Calculated. Patient. I promise, I said, feeling a fire ignite in me. Patient, calculated, and unstoppable when the time is right. Zara raised her coffee cup. To reclaiming your life. To reclaiming my life, I echoed, clinking my cup against hers. As I walked home later, I felt the first real surge of hope. I wasn't broken anymore, I was planning, observing, and regaining control. Every step I took was deliberate, every thought sharpened. And when the time came, her arrogance would be her undoing. I just had to wait, and watch. I was walking down the street when I heard someone call my name. Hey! Didn't expect to see you here, a familiar voice said. I turned to see Rida, a coworker I barely tolerated. Rida, I said cautiously. What's up? Just curious, she said, a sly smile on her lips. I heard some things. Things about her. What things? I asked, trying to sound calm. Oh, you know, rumors. People talking. You didn't know. She leaned closer, whispering. Some people say she's planning something big. Something that could ruin you if you're not careful. My heart skipped a beat, but I forced a neutral expression. Really? And who told you that? Does it matter? She said, shrugging. I'm just warning you. Watch your back. I nodded slowly. Thanks. I'll keep that in mind. After she walked away, I leaned against the wall, trying to calm my racing thoughts. She was planning something. After all this time, she still thought she could control me. I clenched my fists. She clearly underestimated me. Later, I confronted Zara about it. I heard, someone said you might be planning something. Care to explain? Zara laughed lightly, tilting her head. Planning something? Me? You're letting rumors control you. I'm not, I said, my voice steady. But you seem to be hiding things. I can feel it. She shrugged. I have no idea what you mean. Maybe you're just paranoid. Paranoid? I asked, narrowing my eyes. After everything? You think I'd be paranoid? She smiled, calm, collected. People say paranoia is just heightened awareness. Maybe you're noticing more than you realize. I swallowed my frustration. If you're hiding something, I'll find out. And when I do. When you do what? She said, leaning forward, eyes sharp. What are you going to do, exactly? I'll make sure you don't get away with it, I said quietly. Not this time. She laughed softly. Bold words. But words don't scare me. They should, I muttered, turning away. That night, I met with Sam to discuss the situation. Rita told me something, I said, pacing. She hinted that Zara is planning something big against me. Sam frowned. Are you sure? You can't just trust rumors. I know, I said, stopping. But even a hint is enough to make me cautious. I can't be cornered, Sam. Not again. Then what's the plan? He asked. Observe, gather information, and stay ahead, I said firmly. I won't let her manipulate me or ruin my life. She underestimated me once. She won't again. I like that resolve, Sam said. But be careful. She's clever, and if she senses your strategy, she might escalate. I know, I said. But I'm ready. Every move I make will be deliberate. I'll watch her, wait for the cracks, and act only when the timing is perfect. The next day, I caught a glimpse of her in the office, speaking to Rita with a sharp look. Something passed between them, words I didn't hear, but the tension was palpable. I approached her casually. Busy day? I asked, keeping my tone light. She smiled, a little too perfectly. Always. Just handling a few things. Doesn't look too stressful, I said, studying her expression. You seem distracted. Distracted? She repeated, tilting her head. I don't know what you mean. I think you do, I said softly. And I think you've underestimated me. Her smile faltered for a fraction of a second. Underestimated? I don't think so. I let the moment hang, letting my gaze pierce through her composure. I've learned my lesson, I said quietly. I won't be caught off guard again. She looked away, almost imperceptibly. I had gotten under her skin without saying much. That small victory fueled me more than I expected. Later, I spoke with Lara over the phone. She's planning something, I said, voice tense. I can feel it. And Rita is a loose thread in her web. Then use it, Lara said. If she's careless, it's your chance. Be smart, but don't let fear stop you. I won't, I said firmly. I've been cornered once. Never again. Every move she makes, I'll anticipate. Every trick she has, I'll counter. And if she escalates? Lara asked cautiously. Then she'll see why she underestimated me, I said, a cold edge in my voice. I won't just survive, I'll regain control. And when the time comes, she'll regret ever thinking she could harm me. As I hung up, I felt a mixture of adrenaline and determination. Fear had been there before, but now it fueled me. I wasn't just defending myself, I was planning, observing, preparing. Every close call, every hint of danger made me sharper. And I knew one thing for sure, she had no idea what was coming. I would make sure of it. I walked into the office that morning, my steps deliberate, my posture firm. She looked up from her desk, eyes flickering for the briefest moment. Morning, I said casually, sliding into the chair across from her. Morning, she replied, voice steady, though I sensed tension. Busy? I asked, smiling faintly. Always, she said, eyes narrowing slightly. Why do you keep watching me? Watching? I chuckled lightly. I'm just, observant. You know me. Her smile was tight. Observant, huh? Interesting choice of words. I leaned back. I notice patterns, things people think they hide. It's fascinating, really. Her hand trembled slightly as she adjusted a folder. I caught it, though she tried to mask it. That was my first victory today. Everything okay? I asked innocently. Yes, she said too quickly. Everything is fine. I smiled, letting the pause stretch. Are you sure? You seem distracted. Maybe worried about things from the past. Her eyes darted for a fraction of a second. Past? What past? Oh, nothing, I said smoothly. Just curious about how people's little mistakes catch up with them eventually. She blinked. I don't know what you mean. I leaned forward, voice calm, confident. You're meticulous, careful, but no one is perfect. Everyone leaves traces. And I'm very good at noticing them. Her jaw tightened. You're implying something. I'm implying that actions have consequences, I said softly. Sometimes sooner than people expect. Her composure faltered slightly, and I felt a surge of satisfaction. I had shifted the power. Later, I met Sam at the cafe. She's cracking, I said, stirring my coffee. Subtle, almost invisible, but she's slipping. I saw it in her hand, in her voice, in the way she avoided eye contact. Good, Sam said. You're finally getting control. I feel it, I admitted. It's like, the tables have turned. I'm not reacting anymore, I'm orchestrating. That's what I wanted to hear, he said. You're no longer the victim. Every move she makes, you can anticipate. And when she missteps, it's yours. Exactly, I said. And every subtle mistake she makes builds the case, the momentum. It's satisfying to watch her unravel, slowly, naturally. Be careful, Sam warned. Don't let that satisfaction blind you. I won't, I said firmly. I'm patient. Calculated. I know the difference between subtle influence and outright revenge. Timing is everything. Later, I confronted her again in the hallway. Funny, isn't it? I said casually. How people's little secrets tend to surface, no matter how carefully they hide them. She stiffened. I don't know what you're implying this time. I shrugged lightly. Just, observing. Not judging. Yet. Her eyes flickered, a shadow of fear crossing them. You're confident. Too confident. Confidence comes from knowing your ground, I said. I'm no longer someone who can be pushed around. And that's uncomfortable for you, isn't it? Her lips pressed tightly together. Perhaps. Perhaps. I raised an eyebrow. I've always been loyal, trusting, and now I'm cautious, aware, prepared. That's all it took for the balance to shift. She looked away briefly, a sign I had learned to notice. I was no longer hesitant, I was deliberate. Later, Lara called. "You're changing," she said. "Not just strong, calculated, aware. I can see it. I have to be," I admitted. "She's clever, manipulative. But I'm cleverer now. I know how to observe without being seen, how to act without giving away my intentions." "That's a big change," Lara said softly. "From the broken person I knew." "I'm not broken anymore," I said, smiling faintly. "I'm empowered. Hardened, maybe. But in control." "That's good," she said. "And what about her? Karma is starting?" "Yes," I said quietly. "Small things, almost imperceptible. A missed opportunity here, a slip-up there. Her world is beginning to mirror the chaos she caused. I didn't push her. I just let her actions speak. And it feels satisfying," Lara said knowingly. "More than satisfying," I said. "It feels right. Finally, I'm reclaiming what she tried to take from me." Later, I saw her flustered with her assistant, muttering over emails, frustration leaking despite her attempts to remain composed. I smirked, walking past. "Everything okay?" I asked lightly. "Yes, fine," she said, a tremor in her voice betraying her. "Must be stressful," I said softly. "Mistakes have a funny way of stacking up. One small slip, and suddenly, everything changes." Her eyes flicked toward mine, and I saw it clearly: fear. A crack in the armor she so carefully built. I smiled faintly to myself as I walked away. I wasn't cruel, I was strategic. Every move was deliberate. Every slip she made added to the power I was reclaiming. For the first time in months, I felt fully unstoppable. She had underestimated me, and now the consequences of her arrogance were beginning to show. I was no longer the victim. I was the storm she hadn't seen coming. I stood at the back of the grand hall, the chandeliers casting a golden glow over the rows of neatly dressed guests. She was there at the altar, radiant in white, smiling at everyone as if the world belonged to her. My stomach twisted, but this time not from fear or heartbreak. This time it was resolve. I took a deep breath and approached, my heels clicking softly on the polished floor. Every eye slowly turned toward me. A murmur rippled through the crowd. "Excuse me," I said, my voice calm but carrying through the hall. "Can I have a moment?" She froze, her smile faltering just slightly. What are you doing here?" she whispered, but the microphone caught her words. "Everyone deserves to hear the truth," I said, letting my gaze sweep across the room. "Especially on a day like this." Gasps filled the air. Her father's face tightened. Bridesmaids exchanged shocked glances. She opened her mouth, but I continued. "You've all been celebrating someone who isn't who she pretended to be," I said, voice steady. "She tried to hide the biggest secret, the secret that affects more than just her life." I saw her eyes widen. Her hands trembled as she gripped the bouquet. "No, you can't." "Watch closely," I said, pulling out my phone. I had the evidence ready: messages, photos, confirmations. Every lie she had told, every manipulation exposed. "I thought I could handle her betrayal quietly," I said, keeping my voice calm, almost serene. "I thought I could be the bigger person. But some truths can't stay hidden forever." Her face paled. How did you?" "I kept quiet for months, pretending, rebuilding my life while she carried on her lies," I said, letting the words sink in. "But today everyone should know." I showed the screen to the nearest guests first. Murmurs grew into whispers, whispers into shocked gasps. She tried to snatch it away, but I held firm. "No, let them see," I said firmly. "Let them see who you really are. Her groom looked stunned, confusion and anger mixing on his face. What is this?" he asked, voice loud enough to carry through the hall. "She lied to me," I said, my voice rising slightly. "She thought I would raise her child quietly. She thought I would disappear, silent, and let her live her perfect lie. But I can't. Not anymore." A collective gasp filled the room. I saw her mother cover her mouth. Her best friend's jaw dropped. She opened her mouth, stammering, "That's not true." "Every word is true," I said, my chest tight but my voice unwavering. "The messages, the appointments, the secrecy, she tried to manipulate everyone, but I have proof." I handed my phone to a nearby guest I trusted. They read silently, their eyes widening, nodding at me. I felt a surge of vindication. Her composure finally broke. You can't do this. This is my wedding," she screamed, tears brimming in her eyes. "Everyone will think. They will think exactly what you deserve them to think," I said, voice low but deadly calm. "You betrayed trust. You lied to me, to your family, to everyone here. And now," I paused, letting the weight of my words hang. "Now the world sees the truth." Her father stepped forward, voice tight. "Is this true?" "Yes," I said, keeping my gaze steady. "I tried to protect her secrets. I gave her chances. But she underestimated me, and underestimated the fact that truth always comes out." I watched as her knees weakened. She slumped slightly, hands gripping the altar rail. This isn't fair," she cried. "Fair?" I asked, incredulous. "You think fairness has anything to do with someone who manipulates and betrays? You wanted to hide everything, pretend nothing happened. Fairness ended the moment you chose lies over honesty." Guests whispered among themselves. Some stared at me in awe, others at her in disbelief. The tension was thick, almost unbearable, but I felt lighter than I had in months. Her groom finally stepped back, his face a mixture of anger and betrayal. I need to think," he muttered, moving away from her. "No," she said, reaching toward him. "Wait. You don't understand." "He understands perfectly," I said, voice rising, filled with righteous anger. "He understands what you've been hiding. He, like everyone else, is seeing the truth now. The truth you tried to bury." Her eyes searched mine, a desperate plea I no longer felt pity for. I didn't mean to. Didn't mean to. I echoed, incredulous. "You meant to deceive everyone. You meant to betray me. You meant to hide your actions. And now, you're facing the consequences." Tears streamed down her cheeks, her perfectly composed facade shattered completely. I felt a strange mix of relief and sorrow. Relief because justice was done. Sorrow because I had once loved her, trusted her. I turned slightly, speaking to the gathered guests. "Let this be a reminder, deception only lasts until someone is brave enough to speak the truth. Betrayal hides in shadows, but truth shines through." I felt eyes on me, some sympathetic, some shocked. My own pulse raced, not with fear, but with exhilaration. I had taken back control. I had turned the tables. She sank to the floor, sobbing, humiliated in front of everyone she had hoped to impress. The crowd murmured, some offering whispered condolences, others simply stunned by the public unraveling. I exhaled, finally allowing myself to relax slightly. The storm had broken, her lies exposed, and my heart, though still heavy, felt lighter than it had in months. Her father whispered something to her mother. They consoled her gently, but the look on their faces said everything: disappointment, betrayal, shock. I stepped back, letting the moment settle. I didn't need to gloat. I didn't need to revel. The truth had spoken for itself, and justice had been served. As I left the hall, I felt a sense of empowerment unlike anything before. I had faced the ultimate betrayal, navigated through anger, pain, and humiliation, and emerged stronger, more resilient, more myself than ever. I had reclaimed my life. I had reclaimed my voice. And for the first time in months, I felt truly free. I sank into the couch at my apartment, the city lights spilling across the floor. The chaos of the wedding felt distant now, like a storm I had survived. My phone buzzed. Sam. Are you okay? He asked the moment I answered. I am, I said quietly. Exhausted, but, okay. Finally okay. I knew you'd handle it, he said. You were calm, calculated. Perfect timing. I laughed softly. Perfect timing, or maybe patience. I waited until she slipped, until the truth spoke louder than my words. It feels liberating. Good, he said. You've been carrying so much anger and pain. I'm glad you're letting it go. I'm not sure it's gone, I admitted. It's transformed. It's no longer burning. It's steady, like fuel. I feel empowered. That's what I wanted for you, he said. You're stronger now, wiser. And this time, it's for you, not for anyone else. I nodded, staring out the window. I used to think strength was silence, patience, letting things slide. Now I know it's voice, action, reclaiming what's yours. Exactly, he said. And you didn't just reclaim yourself, you reminded others what truth looks like. I did, I whispered. And I think, part of me is surprised. I expected relief, but what I feel is closure. Real closure. There was a pause. You've earned it, Sam said. Every bit. And don't forget, there's still life ahead. New beginnings. You're free now. Free, I repeated, savoring the word. I never imagined it would feel like this. Heavy, yet light. Bitter, yet peaceful. Do you want to talk to Laura? Sam asked. She wanted to check in too. I think I do, I said. I dialed her number, waiting as it rang. Hello. Lara's voice was warm, tentative. Lara, I said, smiling even though she couldn't see me. I needed to hear a friendly voice. I've been thinking about you all day, she said softly. How are you holding up? I'm better, I admitted. It was intense, seeing everything unravel in front of everyone. But now, I feel lighter. Like a weight has been lifted, replaced with clarity, maybe even hope. That's good, she said. You've grown so much through this. I saw it in your confidence, in the way you handled the wedding. I felt unstoppable, I said quietly. Not because I hurt her, not because she fell, but because I finally stepped into my own power. I faced betrayal, anger, humiliation, and came out, me. You deserve that, Lara said. I've been worried about you for months. Seeing you reclaim yourself, it's inspiring. I smiled, a genuine one this time. Thank you, Lara. I couldn't have stayed sane without your support. You reminded me who I am when the storm threatened to erase me. Always, she said. And now? What's next? I leaned back, thoughtful. Next, life. Focused on me, my goals, my happiness. I'm not closing myself off, I'll be cautious, but I'll let myself live again. I think. I'm ready. Good, she said softly. You've earned it. And remember, you're not alone. Friends, allies, we're here. I know, I said, feeling warmth flood through me. For the first time in months, I feel safe. Not in a sense of avoiding pain, but in knowing I can handle it. I can survive. I can thrive. There was silence for a moment, comfortable and healing. You sound peaceful, Lara said. I am, I said. Peaceful, yes, but stronger than before. I've seen the worst of betrayal, humiliation, manipulation. I've felt it all, and I've emerged, sharper, calmer, wiser. I'm not the same person I was before her lies. That's the point, she said. Growth. Strength. Moving forward. I think I finally understand it, I said. Life isn't about avoiding betrayal or pain, it's about facing it, learning from it, reclaiming yourself. That's real power. And love? She asked softly. Do you feel ready for it? I hesitated, a small smile tugging at my lips. I think so. But for now, I need time for me. To rebuild, to trust myself fully again. When I'm ready, maybe. But not yet. Wise, she said warmly. Take your time. You've earned it. I will, I promised. After we hung up, I sat quietly, letting the night settle around me. The city hummed softly outside my window, life continuing, oblivious to the chaos that had once consumed me. I felt calm. Strong. Whole. I thought about the wedding, the confrontation, the storm of emotions. Anger, pain, righteous fury, all had their place, and now they had faded into lessons, into fuel for a new beginning. I stood, moving to the window. The lights of the city stretched endlessly. This is it, I whispered to myself. A new chapter. My chapter. I smiled, finally unburdened, finally free. And for the first time in a long time, I felt hope. The past had tried to define me. Betrayal had tried to break me. But I was still here. Stronger, wiser, and ready for whatever came next.